Hello and welcome to Spring Office Hours Season 4, Episode 7, live from DevNexus. As you can see, we are right
In
next to each other.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
This is rare occasion that we get to hang out. It's fun. Energy's up because we've had a good conference.
Yep.
It's good times.
Somebody asked me just a little bit ago, like how DevNexus was going. And I said, I absolutely love this conference. One, it's just packed with Java developers. So usually when we go to conferences, there's a Java track. But there's other tracks going on. But this is just like all Java developers, or mostly.
It's great, yeah.
And everybody I know from the community is here. And so
lots of famous people.
It's pretty cool.
If we had a red carpet, that it would be something for the Java ecosystem. It'd definitely be red carpet moment. We don't have that here. Maybe next year.
No, man, but it's been a full week. We both got in on Monday.
Yep.
We had some customer things to do on Tuesday, which was a lot of fun. And then the conference was Wednesday and Thursday. And we're sitting here Wednesday or Thursday at 2, almost 3 o'clock. And it's almost over. I'm a little sad.
Almost over, but there's still good stuff happening. And yeah, the energy's been great. This is a good conference more than just the content. I've talked to multiple people who at this morning hadn't yet gone to a session because the hallway track is so good.
Yeah.
We have great vendors, great vendor support. It's a fun conference. And sometimes the meeting up with the expert in the space is more important than going to the session. So that's pretty great.
Yeah, so we're sitting right next to our booth, and this has been a lot of fun. Like you said, the hallway track.
All of swag's gone.
Yep,
it's been a hot booth. All of it's gone. Sorry.
But I think obviously one of the main conversations that has been happening here is Spring AI.
Spring AI has been hot.
Folks have been coming by like, hey, what is this Spring AI thing? Let's talk about it.
It is. If there was a theme for us, this week at DevNexus, it's definitely been Spring AI, whether we're bringing it up or not. We had great sessions. Did you get to see Josh and Mark today?
No, I was talking at the same time.
You were, oh boy. Yeah, that's awkward. But
not for me.
Yeah, it was full room, standing room only. There was people lined up in order to watch Josh and Mark. It was full, but there's tons of people here.
Yeah.
This is a great conference.
It's almost, and like I understand, like it probably costs a lot of money to rent this place out, but there's 2 days. There's so many tracks going on. I had to make so many decisions on what talks I was going to go to, and so many that I wanted to see. So it was pretty tough. But yeah, so much great content here. Huge shout out to all the speakers who are here giving great presentations, pouring their heart and soul into a 1 hour talk.
And soul.
Including
so
you.
Much hard work.
You had 2 talks.
Had 2 talks. And as far as having 2 talks in a conference, this is the best that it's ever been.
Yeah.
My execution, I was very, very happy. Those talks will be on my GitHub repo here shortly. Hello from Bangladesh.
Awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah, my mom and dad are still watching. They like to watch the show. So if you're here, send us a chat. Let us know where you're joining us from.
Yep. Yeah, we usually do this every Monday from 1 to 2 Eastern. This is a special week because we're here live at DevNexus. But we will take this and turn this into a podcast, so you can get this wherever you get your podcasts. And we will be back Monday to our regularly scheduled program.
The podcast. I will not. I'll be flying.
I'll be flying on Monday.
Overseas. But the podcast. One of the cool things about this conference is how many people stop by the booth because of the podcast.
So many. I got so many great compliments.
And I'm pretty sure that somebody only listens to the podcast because they came up to the booth. They stood right in front of me. They said, "Where's Dan Vega? Where's Dan Vega? I love the Spring Office Hours. Where's Dan Vega?" Just looked right past me. I'm
Shame
pretty
on
sure
you.
They must be podcast fans.
But I mean, if they are, they hear you. There's not there's not one of us, and your voice is very unique. So
okay, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah. So I've had a lot of fun here. Again, the AI conversation, not just here at the booth, just in general. I think this is obviously a big theme. I was in Montreal last week for Confu. There was an entire AI track there. There's an entire AI track here. Everybody wants to talk about it. But at the same time, like I think you and I are very deep into this AI world right now.
Yes.
I'm surprised at like how many developers know of AI, but they're not like as far into the rabbit hole as we are.
We're lucky in that regard. One of my favorite things is hearing the use cases.
Yeah.
Hearing what people are doing with AI.
Right.
Even, and I heard it a couple of times, even if it's just utilizing vector vector stores
Right.
more often for
Right.
different things, getting that data vectorized so that you can use it, can do the similarity search for
Right.
other reasons. There's kind of baby steps that we can take
Yeah.
in this journey towards AI. Still lots of chatbot use cases, but the most exciting part for me is what we saw around MCP.
Yeah.
Lots of movement around MCP makes it easier, and yeah, it's catching hold.
I think that's like the big question that everybody has is like, okay, we all understand that these large language models are trained on some data up to a certain date. It's like, okay, I need to do something that requires some other data from other data sources. How do I get it?
Yep.
And so, like you said, vector stores, MCPs, adding to the context. There's a whole bunch of really cool solutions to that right now. And MCP, believe it or not, it's only 4 months old now.
November.
And has really started to become an official protocol for doing that.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Spring AI, the Spring team created the official Java SDK for the MCP protocol.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
So what else? What other sessions did you go to?
Zero. I've gone to zero other sessions.
You've been pretty busy at the booth.
Yes, I've been busy at the booth.
All right. Well, I just went to a session Phil Webb gave on debugging Spring Boot.
I'm a little jealous.
And I think it was recorded, so hopefully you can catch it later.
That's who I was competing against. Great.
Yeah.
Great. That's why I had 5 people.
Right. But it was really interesting. He brought up a bunch of issues, like actual issues from GitHub over the years, and talked about his process for fixing those issues. And it was really cool to see like his thought process and like some tools and techniques he used to like figure out what was going wrong and ultimately how to fix these. And he made a funny comment that there was a huge amount of issues fixed on I can't remember the number and I don't want to get it wrong, but he said we've fixed so many issues over the years. He's like, but now that I think about it, maybe I've made a bunch of bugs over the years.
It's quite possible.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was recent. In some of the recent releases, they cleared out some of the backlog.
Yeah.
Fixing bugs. I know that Jurgen last year at Spring IO was excited that he was fixing a bug that had kind of been in the backlog for years.
Right.
So definitely with a lot of the projects, cleaning up the backlogs, making it so we can kind of consume, understand where best to focus our time and efforts.
Just looking.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also what else is going on here? So many things. A couple of cool events we've had. A customer event one night, and then last night a little bit of a spring social.
That was fun.
With the spring team. Who knew DaShaun was like an expert dart thrower?
I was in a dart league once.
You were that. I'm not surprised, Ringer.
I was in a dart league for 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I don't think I've thrown a dart ever, or like 20 years ago. So, but it was so much fun, just kind of hanging out with everybody.
It was fun.
Seeing everybody. It's weird. It's like we we work from home, we get out and travel, but you're at home in isolation all the time, and then you get around 1,000 people. Like, oh my God, I'm overloaded. Like, hi, how's it going?
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
But the little events, the socials, the hanging out, that's another thing I credit with DevNexus. The DevNexus organization does a great job of making time. So we have these socials. They have a great hotel. They do a lot of stuff for the speakers.
Yeah.
But the hangout, the little after event yesterday was great as well. So they've I think created a good culture around their conference. It's not just, hey, conference is done, see ya. They've done a good job making it enjoyable to hang out.
Yeah. Speaking of taking care of speakers, I was sitting at lunch with someone who I was talking to about the conference, and then I just gave my talk, and he's like, oh yeah, I really want to like speak here one day. So 2 things. One, we've talked about this on the podcast before, but I said, hey, start with a lunch and learn at work. Just talk to a few coworkers. It's very easy and relaxed because those are your people. You talk to them every day. That's a good place to start. When you're there, then move up to like a meetup. Again, local community you're probably comfortable with, maybe a little bit of a longer talk. Then you can start submitting to conferences. I mean, I'm not stopping. If you want to submit to a keynote conference right away, go for it. But it gets easier with practice and doing these lunch and learns, these meetups. That is like putting in the reps, right?
Yes.
Like you wouldn't go sit on a bench and try to like bench press 300 pounds.
We're not.
Start a little bit lighter, move up a little more. And so I gave him that advice. But the reason I told him to do that is because, man, the swag at some of these conferences for speakers is just so cool. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, there's quite a bit of
this
fun stuff.
the thing that we got from here is like this digital frame that I'm going to put behind my shot at home.
We'll see it. You'll see it soon.
And we'll like, you can kind of customize it and put some things on there. I can't wait to like show that off. So yeah, they take care of the speakers, I guess is what I'm saying.
They do take care of the speakers. I think the attendees are also well taken care of. Lots of great content, amazing hallway track. The food has been really good as well.
I was standing in line today, and somebody, a gentleman named Tommy, came up to me and he goes, "Are you Dan Vega?" And he had his phone on with like one of my videos up.
Nice.
He just started talking to me like, "Thank you so much for like doing all these spring food videos. Like I've really learned from you." And I'm telling you, it never gets old. It like really helps reinforce the things that we're doing in the community. And, warms my heart.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
So yeah, AI has been hot. Upgrading has been hot. Java 24 is coming out in a couple of weeks. We're going to have Billy as a guest here.
Coronado, yes, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Billy on the 24th of March talking about JDK 24.
Yep. That's going to be a good time. Billy's amazing.
Yep. You're going to be doing that remote because you're traveling.
I will be somewhere.
The world.
I don't know where. I'll be somewhere in Europe.
I will be at Java 1, not next week, but the following week.
Java 1 is coming up. That's going to be exciting. Lots of people here are going to hang out here in the US, take a little break.
Yeah.
And then head over to Java 1.
Nice. Got it. We've just seen like so many people this week. And
Good
I love
timing.
You know, another thing that I really love about this conference is the vendors. I'm just looking at the vendor hall now.
Yep.
So many great vendors here and like just having great conversations with everyone.
The vendors bring their experts to this conference.
Yeah.
It's not just sales folks.
Oh man.
It's smart experts that you can go and talk to about your issues.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Cool.
So what's been top 3 things of the conference for you?
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about it, but like the hallway track. I consume so many YouTube videos. I feel like some of these talks I've already seen on YouTube, which is okay. I like seeing them in person too, because there's always a different wrinkle or some questions that you can get in. So I don't mind that. But yeah, it's talking to people here in the hallway track, connecting with people you haven't seen in a long time. I got to see some friends here, like Ken Cousin, who I haven't seen in a little bit. We sat down and talked about like YouTube stuff yesterday. And then just the learning, like I forget that like these hour tracks are like so packed with information because you got to put so much into an hour.
Yep.
I'm at the end of an hour conversation. I'm like, whew, I'm exhausted. Like this is a lot to learn.
There's a lot to learn here. Absolutely. And yeah, it is. It's high quality stuff.
Just getting and you can't learn everything in an hour, but it's really meant there to like to inspire you. Like, oh, I want to go back and like do this thing now.
One of the things that I did in both my sessions, I said, hey, I tried to set it up so that you could open up your laptop and play along.
Yeah.
Give them the code, give them the instructions to make it as easy as possible to follow along. I learned that way. Not everybody does, but I do. So I tried to make that an option.
Hello. Hope you're all having a great time at DevNexus. We are.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. But yeah.
So yeah, we're almost wrapping up. You know, there's a few more sessions left today. My favorite parts, definitely, you know, I enjoy hanging out at the booth. I enjoy hearing what problems people have, what they're working on. I also, like I said, the AI use cases, a lot of the really cool voice operated AI. That seems to be a hot topic.
Yeah.
Or at least for my conversations, it was a hot topic.
Yeah.
And yeah, multimodal AI is a thing. That's another thing you can do with Spring AI.
Yeah. I think
those are my favorites.
I think one of the conversations too, at least that I had at the booth, that really seemed to dominate was everybody would come by and say, okay, this is a framework for kind of talking to large language models, but what if I don't want to share my information with OpenAI or Google Gemini?
Maybe I heard that 100 times.
Yeah.
100 times.
And it's very
over
big.
2 days.
So
it's a concern.
In Spring AI, we are talking to a portable chat API. This means that whatever code we write is going to be the same no matter what LLM we're talking to. And so we have all these pluggable interfaces that we can use. And we can talk to OpenAI, we can talk to Google Gemini, but we can also talk to Ollama and talk to our open source
without
models
changing a bunch of code.
without changing code.
That's-
And then we can
that's
run
nice.
our models locally. That gives us a lot of pros, right?
Absolutely.
We're not paying for anything locally, so we can kind of MVP some stuff out without paying
Yep.
a bunch of money. We get that privacy and security. We're not feeding
Training somebody else's model.
feeding more documents to
Right.
OpenAI or Gemini or anything. I pick on OpenAI, but I mean like basically every large language model
Yeah.
that's out there, right? Yeah, and we get some really good pros from that. So a lot of people have come up to me and asked me about that. And then you need to start thinking about like, okay, in an enterprise, I don't know if I want to give all of my developers access to every single model out there and then let them just go wild on them.
It's another way to have that surprise $1 million bill on Monday because you left something running over the weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah. So you need some governance at that level. And if you're interested in that, definitely reach out to us. We can help you there.
One of the other side conversations I've had is like, hey, what's your favorite model?
Yeah.
Did you have those?
Yeah. Lots
Like,
of them.
Lots of interest in DeepSeek.
Yeah.
What's coming next? I don't know if I really have a favorite just yet.
Yeah.
But I also heard about a lot of these other models. Like I heard model names that I'd never heard before.
Oh yeah.
So there's a whole other ecosystem that isn't available in Ollama. I've got to go do a little bit more research to find it.
Well, and that's a good keyword there, research. And we constantly tell people like, hey, just because you hear of like OpenAI out there, you have to like test out these models. I'm not saying go spend $1 million doing it. You can do some POCs on your own machine for a couple bucks here and there, right? And talk to Google Gemini because they have some advantages from an API level, very inexpensive compared to some of these other ones. Talk to Anthropic. I really like the way that they write and they produce really good code examples from there. So try out these different models for your use cases, see what one works for that application. And I know one thing you do well is you give a question to multiple models at the same time,
scatter gather,
and do some evaluation of the response for what's
Spring
working.
Cloud Gateway in front of my models, ask the same question to all of them, get the response, and then I can do some evaluation. I can compare which one do I like better for this use case.
Yeah, the other thing I've been telling folks here is like get ready for Spring Framework 7 and Spring Boot 4 later this year.
Right around the corner.
Wow.
Like we're seeing these release candidates so early. You can take Spring Boot 3.5 for a spin. I don't know if there's 3.4 or 4.0 yet.
No.
You take 3.5 branch for a spin. There's snapshots. There is release candidates, I think, already for Spring Framework 7. Lots of really cool stuff.
Too much to keep up with. And, I think another message like I've been trying to tell people about this year is like, I think I finally I don't know that I'm there yet. I finally realized this, but you're just not going to learn everything. And it's a really hard truth to come by.
Yeah.
Because I want to learn everything.
Summarize this for me. Right.
Yeah.
Like
you can, I like the T-shaped developer.
Absolutely.
You got to get very strong and focused in like core skills.
Do the things that you like.
And just know enough about the other things.
Yes.
Right. But we are in a time where there's just so many things that we need to learn.
Yes.
So you got to prioritize them. And
so come to Spring Office Hours. We'll get you that 100 level, that introductory level for the things that you need to know when you need to know them. And then what you're doing on your own, go deep on the things that you're interested in. Maybe it's Spring Modular. Maybe it's native images. Maybe it's Spring AI. Go deep on one thing and then get that 100 level introductory for the rest of the things in your ecosystem that you're adjacent to. Do that here with us at Spring Office Hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at the things. Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, if you're just joining, we're live from DevNexus in Atlanta. Having fun, just kind of wrapping up this conference. Again, just seeing all these amazing people walk by. So many great conversations.
Yes. It's good. But yeah.
I like the endless supply of coffee too.
That
helps.
Is nice. That is nice. But we're in the middle of a session. I think the other session is going to be wrapping up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to be here while that session is exiting.
Yeah, it might get a little loud.
Or do you want to wrap it up?
Just trying to think of anything else that kind of came to mind from this week. God, just so many great sessions.
I can tell you one other thing about DevNexus is the full day workshops.
Yeah.
I have heard so much good feedback
Same
on the
here.
full day workshops.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a couple of other conferences that do that, but I love it here. This is a great set. And the feedback from those workshops was 10 out of 10, highly recommend.
I heard the same thing, which has kind of pushed me to remind me that I need to submit more workshops.
We also
I enjoy doing workshops.
The Jug Leaders meet here, and the Java Champions had an event here.
I am both, and I did not get to go to either of those sessions.
There's a lot of things wrapped around this conference.
Yeah. I hope I've submitted a bunch to some other conferences, so hopefully I'll be in Kansas City with you in August.
Fantastic. KCDC.
That would be a lot of fun.
That soon.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be in Barcelona for Spring I/O.
Spring I/O is also around the corner. So we got
Sergey.
Yep. We have Java 1 coming up, then Spring I/O, and then the end of summer we have KCDC. I think those are the ones. No, I also have Code Remix Summit in May.
Oh yeah,
that's on my list. Definitely gonna be there. And
that's middle of May.
Yeah, I think the 12, 13, 14.
Nice.
And then Cloud Foundry Summit North America.
Oh yeah.
Cloud Foundry Day North America is going to be May 14th.
Oh, 14th.
May 14th in Palo Alto. Yeah. So those are the conferences that are on my schedule.
Busy time. Yeah, I'm curious to know. I mean, I guess I kind of already know this because of the conversations that we've been having here. A lot of it has been AI driven. But I also want to hear from you guys. Like, what are you guys interested in? What can we do some shows on upcoming? We kind of got the next few weeks figured out, but we'd love to hear some suggestions. I mean, if you want us to come on here and talk about robots every day, we can do that.
Absolutely.
I love talking about robots. So.
Yeah, let us know. That's good.
Yeah. All right.
Sessions are starting to exit.
Yeah.
It's starting to get a little loud.
Yeah, it should get a little loud in here, so we might jump out of here. But we just wanted to kind of give you an update live from the floor. And DaShaun and I are next to each other, so we don't get to do this often. We could like fist bump on over virtually, but it would be like
but
this.
It's not the same.
Oh, there we go.
Where is it? Yeah. We're in good shape.
So cool. Yeah, just again, thanks to everyone here at DevNexus for all the wonderful conversations. Thanks to all the speakers for the wonderful sessions. Thank you to Pratik and Vincent and Glenn for putting on such an amazing conference every year. I know the Atlanta Java user group is heavily involved in this. So, and I know, speaking of user groups, and we've talked to Eric from the Boston user group, the Atlanta Java user group is here.
Amar from Tampa.
They're always looking for speakers. So as I said, if you get past the lunch and learn and you want to talk somewhere else, kind of the next step is those meetup groups. And these Java user group leaders are always looking for new speakers. So
and if you're looking for a conference, put this one on your schedule for next year.
Absolutely.
2026.
Come join us. We will be here.
Don't meet me there. Beat me there.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
I don't know if they'll beat us there, though. We get here early.
We'll try.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We will see you I'll see you probably next week. And then the two of us will see you with Billy on the 24th.
Fantastic.
For JDK 24.
All
right. See you, everyone.